What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my review of Naruto Shippuden episode 273 and 274, since they were part 1 and part 2 for A Time of Oaths. And I was waiting for this episode. Ever since I saw Kabuto, Edo Tensei, other people I know, he brought back past Kages and the Akatsuki, which is just purely threatening, but when he brought back some of the people from the Leaf Village, that was kind of crazy, how there were just no boundaries there. When he brought back Tsunade's boyfriend, Neji's dad, and when I saw Asuma, I knew that Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji were going to have to fight him in the war at some point. And this is where it finally happened. And it was pretty good. I like how Kakazu's there too, so it's all kind of I don't know, sort of nostalgic back to way back then. But yeah, I thought it was this whole fight. I mean, sometimes Naruto has a lot of flashbacks in it, but this episode had good there's like bad flashbacks and good flashbacks. Flashbacks like watching, Sasuke and Naruto talk about the same conversation they had a long time ago. Like, we've seen it already. Like, once in a while when you want to refresh this, it's okay, but when they play the same thing that's already happened in like Naruto or a past episode, that's kind of... But the flashbacks that were here were kind of things that we hadn't seen before, and I kind of liked it because it gave good backstory on Choji, Choji isn't one of my favorite characters, but he's not one of my least favorite characters. I like him. I like the fight with the Sound Ninja with Choji. That was probably one of my best fights there. I really like that fight, but Choji's still never been really a great character to me. But this sort of... he was always the nice guy, and there's nothing wrong with nice guys, but... I mean, I love Shikamaru. He's one of my favorite characters. I love his wit, his everything. He's awesome. Ino's okay. I'm impartial to Ino, and I'm not saying I didn't like Choji, but it gave Choji a lot of background because it was sort of, I guess, more his issue, I suppose, because he didn't want to hurt Asuma, even though he was not really Asuma. It's interesting the way they're doing it, because they could just be mindless souls, but Kabuto is just so evil that he's actually having them have a mind. But it's a pretty crazy, messed up situation, but that's the world of ninja, I guess. So it was mainly the fights and the flashbacks, and eventually it all comes to good because it just, you knew it was gonna turn out good. It's not one of those fights you thought was gonna turn out bad. But there were a few other things about the episodes I liked. There was one point I wanted to make note of where Tenten was she was fighting one of Kakazu's, I think, lightning style dudes, and she was like, "Come at me, bro." She didn't say "Come at me, bro," but she was like, "Come at me." And I don't know. I usually don't like Tenten, but that was pretty. I give her points for that. I like that line. And they're kind of focusing on her a little bit, and I'm kind of liking Tenten in the war for some reason. I don't know. She just seems useful, I suppose. But there was also one point where Asuma was fighting Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji, and Choji wouldn't fight Asuma at first because he just couldn't hurt him, and Ino took over Choji's body to defend him. And then a white Zetsu came out of nowhere, tried to attack Ino, and Shikamaru took over Ino's body to defend her. And that part was just, oh god, that was awesome. When I saw that, I was like, damn, that was probably the most exciting part about the whole episode, which, good or bad, take it your way, but I thought that was pretty badass. And, in the end, once they finally went through all the flashbacks, you finally get enough backstory. It's kind of necessary. They overdo it a little bit. They always seem to in Naruto, but, I mean, I keep watching the show, so I obviously don't hate it that much. And then finally they took down Asuma, and I honestly thought Asuma was going to go out the way that Sasori did, because they didn't. I mean, everyone else they've been having to seal now, like they've sealed Zabuza and a couple other people, but I thought Asuma was just kind of going to fade away because he saw his students kind of grow up, which was, it's kind of heart touching a little bit when you think about it, seeing his students like that, and I don't know, I thought it was really well put together, really that heart touching moment that not a lot of shows can pull off. And with all the background stuff, it helps. But, and I thought Asuma was going to kind of disappear. Like, I don't know exactly how that works. I don't know if they're going into that more. But, like, Sasori, when he felt like like there was no attachment anymore to the world and he was happy. So he faded away. He wasn't sealed, if I understand correctly. So I thought that was going to happen with Asuma. But they had to seal him anyway. So I thought that was kind of too bad. But other than that, this episode was really good. It was one of those heart-touching moments where, it's like teacher versus students. It was crazy. So that was the episode. I thought it was pretty good. Really looking forward to the next one. And yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys thought about it. And until next time, I'll catch you later.